Hi, you guys. So today I'm going to talk on the subject of narcissism, and I'm going to just speak on a little bit on my awakening. Now, I might do this in certain parts because it may get a little bit long. So, at for me, when I started to awaken to the fact that my family was toxic, was when I was living with them back in Minnesota. And I didn't know the term narcissism at the time, but I knew that there were certain patterns that were starting to come to my attention. Like anytime I would start to come into my own, start to have friends, start to have relationships, my younger sister had a way of sabotaging it. If it was friends, then she would come around and start acting like, why would you want to be around me when she's so much more popular? And she would start to flare up and make herself seem like she's so exciting, and it would cause the friendships to disperse. If it was a relationship and the guy was a decent guy that was trying to talk to me, even though she already had somebody for herself, she found a way to flaunt with him, throw herself all over this person until that relationship would fizz out. And then she would accuse me of not knowing how to keep a relationship and not knowing how to keep friendships or cultivate friendships, when it was her who was doing these toxic things to sabotage any person who was trying to be in my life. And when I would try to bring it up to my mother that, hey, this person, my younger sister, is causing problems with my life, my mom would just be like, oh, you guys get along. She would deflect it. She wouldn't engage, and she would leave it for us to resolve. And when I would try to talk it out with my younger sister, she was also very deflective. Oh, that's in the past, even though it was within the same week, sometimes even within the same day. Oh, that's in the past, and why are you bringing up the past? Why are you bringing up that? And would not talk about it. And then as time went on, I realized that she somehow seemed to know when I was getting into a healthier space. And when she would pick up on the fact that I'm coming into a healthier space, that's when she would come up with her drama. And I would ask her, I would try to be assertive and ask, what did you do about this? Who did you go to? How did you try to resolve this? And she would act like she did all she could, and there was nobody else that can help her, and I was the only one. And if it appeared as though I was going to back out or I couldn't do it, then she's threatening that I'm not trying to be a part of this family, or accusing me of being mean, or going behind my back to the rest of the family and somehow turning them against me and making me out as this mean person, and she's this good person, and I'm not trying to be there for her, when I'm the main one who was there for her. And it seemed like she wasn't really bothering the rest of our siblings like that. And we came from a single mom. It was us 3 girls and my younger brother. And we're all kind of 1 year apart. So I have a sister who's 1 year older than me and a sister who's 1 year younger than me. And so it's the sister who's 1 year younger than me who would do these toxic things. And if she didn't get her way, then somebody's being mean to her. And she's the baby, and they're supposed to help her. And if while I'm helping her, if I even, as I'm listening to her go on about her situation, and this can go on from anywhere from 30 minutes to sometimes 2 and 3 hours. But as I'm listening to her go on about her situation, if I even mention oh, I've gone through something similar, then she accuses me of complaining, but she doesn't see herself as complaining. If like when she's trying to smear my name and accuse me of being selfish, if I try to bring up any of the things that I did do for her, then she turns that against me and she says, oh, well, she gave me the opportunity to be nice. She was giving me the opportunity to look like the good one. So she took the credit that should have been given to me for being helpful to her away, and she gave herself the credit and talked like she did me a favor by giving me the opportunity to help her with her situation. I started to be very drained. There was nobody that I could go to because she would make sure that they turned against me and would shut me down. But somehow, even though she's making me out as a bad person, anytime I would get into a healthier space, somehow she was coming back to me with her problems and trying to draw me back in. Now, when it comes to like me learning about narcissism, is years later after I had separated from them. And the Lord, while I was there, the Lord had been pushing on me that I needed to leave my family because it became so toxic that it was hazardous to my health. It was hard for me to get up to work. I was having difficulties on the job because I was around a lot of cliquey people and I wasn't a part of that kind of scene. So of course you're the hated person and the talked about person when you're not in their group. So it was hard for me to like get motivated. And I wouldn't say that I was depressed, but I was under this heavy weight. But it wasn't depression, because depression to me is when you don't think highly of yourself. I didn't hate myself. I wasn't against myself. But there was this heavy weight, this invisible veil over me that was suppressing me. I felt like there was some outside forces suppressing me, and I didn't realize until later that it was being in this toxic family that was suppressing me and causing me to be so drained that I had hardly no energy for hardly anything. And but my mind was healthy about myself. I no matter what my sister said against me or anybody else said against me, I still had a somewhat healthy outlook about myself and perception of myself. That is something that drove my younger sister crazy. She, no matter what she did, she could not get me to cave in and see myself as this horrible way that she tried to make me out as. And it's because that I knew the truth about myself. No matter what scenario or how she twisted situations, I knew that it was I who was helping her, whether she acknowledged it or not, or appreciated it or not. I knew that it was I who was going out of my way, trying to be there for the rest of my family. They didn't seem to be there for each other even. And I would ask myself, like, how is it that all of my family members, they're not even there for each other, and they don't seem to see the harm in all of them draining on one me? Like, none of them seem to see the harm or the damage in all of them draining on me. And if I in any way indicated that I wasn't going to be able to do something, then all of them would turn against me, and I'm not trying to be a part of this family. I'm being selfish. Oh, I don't do nothing for nobody. Things of that sort. When I knew that was the furthest thing from the truth. If anything, none of them were there for me. But somehow I was made out as the one not trying to be a part of this family, when I was the main one being a part of this family and being the one there for everyone. And